Caitlin Clark destroyed. She just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television.
Caitlin Clark threw her hands up because she knew Napheesa Collier had just lied.
Yes, I texted Caitlin before to ask if we could trade.
Everyone's thinking Caitlin Clark got rid of Cheryl Reeve, when all it was Cheryl Reeve running away, not wanting to coach Caitlin.
With all the drama, it's nice to kind of chill a little bit.
If you've been acting oppy, Caitlin not rocking with you.
Something wild just happened, and it changes everything. Caitlin Clark just traded away Coach Cheryl Reeve before the All-Star game.
Caitlin Clark did not want Cheryl Reeve as her coach. Napheesa Collier just told on herself. I mean, she exposed herself as a liar.
And now fans are asking, did she really fire her? Or was this a cover-up for something deeper? And how is Napheesa Collier involved in all this?
Napheesa Collier is in serious hot water after lying on Caitlin Clark on national television.
Drop a 100% in the comments if you're riding with Caitlin Clark, because this story needs to be told.
Caitlin Clark running the show.
Nobody on this team sets screens.
Caitlin Clark showed y'all. She the best that ever did it and got away with it.
Caitlin Clark is obviously the reason why everybody's watching the WNBA. She's the reason why all these fans are tuning in.
The WNBA All-Star Game was supposed to be a celebration. The league's brightest stars all under one roof. But before a single basket was scored, Caitlin Clark lit the entire league on fire. With a single move, she traded her coach.
Coach being traded in the All-Star game.
Caitlin Clark is a menace, man. She literally kicked Cheryl Reeve off the team.
Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team.
We've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule.
Now. Caitlin just gave her a straight up, man, forget you and get off my team.
Now, word on the street was that Caitlin Clark did not want Cheryl Reeve as her coach.
Yes, not a player, not a position. Caitlin Clark publicly requested to trade away Cheryl Reeve, the very coach assigned to lead her All-Star squad. It stunned everyone. When asked about trades during the All-Star draft, Caitlin didn't hesitate. She said, "I don't know if it's in the rulebook. I don't really care. We've already agreed. We're trading coaches."
Caitlin, you said you might be aggressive on the trade market once this opened up. Is there any player that you're looking to get to? And remember, it has to be apples to apples trade here. Starter for starter, reserve for reserve. The good news is you can't go wrong with this type of talent. Anyone looking to make a deal here?
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them.
Caitlin, are there any player trades you like to make? Nah, I'm kind of set with my team, but I would like to trade coaches.
Just like that, she dropped the mic. Sandy Brondello would now coach Team Clark. Cheryl Reeve shipped off to Napheesa Collier's team. To fans watching live, it felt like a bold, unapologetic power move.
You are leaning into this bad guy role, but you've been on some I don't give a F lately.
After all, Cheryl Reeve was the same coach who played a major role in snubbing Caitlin from the Olympic roster just weeks earlier.
Cheryl Reeve, you hated on her for the Olympics.
She did not want to coach her, and it was exposed thanks to Napheesa Collier.
The same coach who had publicly questioned Clark's style of play and leadership. So when Caitlin pulled the trigger on the coach trade, it sent a message. You didn't want me for Team USA? Fine, I don't want you for Team Clark. The crowd ate it up. Fans called it a boss move. Social media exploded.
And I love the fact she traded Cheryl Reeve. That's my favorite part of it all. She traded her coach.
Many felt like this was Caitlin standing up for herself in a league where she's faced constant pushback from veterans, media critics, and yes, even coaches.
The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap. The drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the league.
But here's where it gets deeper, because as clean as it looked on camera, as strong as it seemed, this trade may not have been what it appeared at all.
I was not expecting Cheryl Reeves to get traded like that, but it was well-deserved.
On the surface, it looked like Caitlin Clark made the ultimate boss move, trading away a coach who had disrespected her and doing it in front of the whole world. But what if it wasn't her idea at all?
Caitlin said, no, thank you. Now it was interesting because I was thinking that was really kind of impromptu.
What if the league or certain players were already working behind the scenes and Caitlin was just the one holding the bag? That's where Napheesa Collier comes in. During a casual interview, she slipped. And in that moment, she may have exposed the truth the WNBA didn't want out. Collier admitted plain as day, I texted Caitlin before and asked if we could trade.
I text Caitlin Clark and told her I want my coach.
Yes, I texted Caitlin before to ask if we could trade.
Let that sink in. The trade wasn't Caitlin Clark's idea. Napheesa Collier approached her before the cameras were rolling. She wanted her own coach, Cheryl Reeve, and she made the first move. Caitlin simply went along with it. And when you look closer, it starts to make perfect sense. Because just days before the All-Star Game draft, rumors were already swirling that Cheryl Reeve did not want to coach Caitlin Clark.
Everybody had totally been in on and planned beforehand. And that even so, it was just fun to see the coaches traded.
That's right. A respected coach in the league may have refused to work with the league's biggest star. And instead of letting that narrative go public and spark backlash, the league let Caitlin Clark take the blame by making it look like she dumped the coach. Think about it. If Reeve had been seen dodging Clark, fresh off the Team USA snub, it would have been another PR disaster for the WNBA. So what did they do? They let Napheesa Collier and Caitlin Clark agree to a trade.
Basically, y'all passed the buck on Caitlin because y'all knew if Caitlin would say it, the league wouldn't say nothing because she couldn't say it.
Now it's framed as Caitlin being assertive, even petty. She takes the hit, and Cheryl Reeve walks away clean.
You know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy. We know what we expect from each other. So that was a bad move on your part, Caitlin. We're taking you down.
A bad move on her part.
I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy.
But there's more. Collier's comments weren't just a one-time slip. She kept talking. She said things like, we had already discussed trading coaches, and even joked that they didn't care if it was in the rules.
We've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach.
They were doing it anyway.
Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule.
Get the coach up out of here. Cheryl Reeve, pack your bag.
It didn't sound like Caitlin Clark demanding control. It sounded like a planned swap, and Clark became the convenient face of it.
Caitlin said, wow, I didn't even know it was my idea to get rid of Cheryl.
I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something you're agreeing to, Fee.
So ask yourself, why would Cheryl Reeve, a decorated coach, not want to coach Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game? Maybe it's the same reason she left her off the Olympic roster. Maybe it's her style of play. Maybe it's egos. Maybe it's bias. But no matter what the reason was, here's the truth. The system let Caitlin take the fall. Again.
Caitlin Clark destroyed. She just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television. If you've been acting oppy, Caitlin not rocking with you.
And yet, even after all that, Caitlin never called out Reeve publicly. She didn't clap back. She didn't spill secrets. Instead, she smiled, showed up, and kept leading. That's what makes this story even more powerful. The league and media may twist things, but Caitlin just keeps proving her worth. With her actions, not her words. This wasn't just a coach trade. It was a cover-up, and Caitlin Clark handled it with more class than most of the league deserves.
They initiated this to possibly get Cheryl Reeve away from Caitlin. Because we know Cheryl Reeve really don't like Caitlin.
Now let's address the real elephant in the room. Why would Cheryl Reeve, one of the most respected coaches in women's basketball, go out of her way to avoid coaching Caitlin Clark?
Napheesa Collier is in serious hot water after lying on Caitlin Clark on national television. Napheesa Collier on her and Caitlin Clark WNBA All-Star Coaches Draft trade.
Yes, I texted Caitlin before to ask if we could trade.
Caitlin Clark did not want Cheryl Reeve as her coach. Napheesa Collier just told on herself. I mean, she exposed herself as a liar. Caitlin Clark threw her hands up because she knew Napheesa Collier had just lied. Everyone's thinking Caitlin Clark got rid of Cheryl Reeve, when all it was Cheryl Reeve running away, not wanting to coach Caitlin.
This isn't a surface-level disagreement. This isn't about personalities clashing for one weekend. This is the boiling point of months of tension, dismissiveness, and quite frankly, jealousy that's been brewing in the WNBA ever since Caitlin Clark entered the league. Let's rewind. Cheryl Reeve made headlines when she snubbed Caitlin Clark from the Team USA Olympic roster.
She did not want to coach her, and it was exposed thanks to Napheesa Collier.
Cheryl Reeve, you hated on her for the Olympics.
A decision that shocked not just fans, but former Olympians, analysts, and even WNBA players. Caitlin wasn't just the most talked about rookie. She was leading her team in assists, breaking rookie records, and single-handedly driving ticket sales, viewership, and league relevance to levels never seen before. And yet, she was left off the biggest stage in the sport. Reeve claimed it was about fit, but let's be honest, the numbers don't lie. Caitlin was outperforming many of the guards picked over her. So if it wasn't about basketball, what was it really about?
The same way you didn't give two shits about Caitlin Clark's fan base and all that, don't nobody give two shits about your crying. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you're coaching Caitlin Clark's team, I don't understand why you had to make it a big deal and say, oh, well, this team's below us to have more plays and us, and it's disappointing. And like, what are you talking about?
Many believe Reeve just doesn't like Caitlin's game. The logo threes, the flashy passes, the confidence, and more importantly, she doesn't like the attention Caitlin brings. There's a growing belief that some veterans and coaches in the WNBA resent how quickly Clark has risen, the way fans, brands, and media have embraced her. They feel she hasn't earned it yet. But here's the problem with that logic. Caitlin has earned everything.
If you was Oppie, if you've been acting Oppie, Caitlin not rocking with you.
She didn't choose to be hyped. She became the hype by performing at an elite level. She didn't ask to be the face of the league. She became the face because the league desperately needed one. Cheryl Reeve had the chance to flip the narrative at the All-Star game, to show leadership, to build a bridge, to uplift the league's most marketable star instead of pushing her out. But instead, she backed away.
Everyone's thinking Caitlin Clark got rid of Cheryl Reeve, when all it was Cheryl Reeve running away, not wanting to coach Caitlin.
And the moment the coach assignments were announced, and it looked like Reeve might coach Team Clark.
I don't want Cheryl Reeve. She didn't want me for the Olympics. I don't want her coaching me for the All-Star game.
Suddenly, the coach swap idea magically appeared. Napheesa Collier texts Caitlin. The media spins it as Caitlin's bold move. But behind the scenes, this looks like damage control, like Reeve quietly stepping aside before the public connected more dots. But here's where it gets worse. Cheryl Reeve's silence isn't just about coaching preferences. It reflects a deeper systemic resistance in the WNBA, a league that still struggles to embrace new energy. Let's be brutally honest. Caitlin Clark is not just a rising star. She's a generational disruptor.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
She's changed how people watch the WNBA. She's brought in fans who never watched a women's basketball game in their lives. She's made games sell out in hours. She's broken jersey sales records. She's shifted the league's revenue projections. And that level of disruption, it doesn't sit well with the old guard. Coaches like Reeve have been fighting for years to grow the league with traditional stars, slow-burn storylines, and internal politics. Caitlin Clark came in and flipped that entire model in 6 months. She is the moment, and that unsettles people.
Ryan Howard, you was acting Oppie. You got to go over there too.
So when Cheryl Reeve saw herself coaching Caitlin, maybe it wasn't just about basketball. Maybe it was about control. Maybe it was about not wanting to stand on the same sideline as someone she couldn't minimize, couldn't ignore, and couldn't claim credit for. But guess what? Caitlin didn't beg. She didn't complain. She didn't need Cheryl Reeve. She drafted her team, picked her coach, and showed up with joy and purpose.
She said, I'm going for vibes. If you're no fun, I don't want you around.
She led with humility and positivity, even after being iced out from the Olympic roster.
I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy.
And spun into a villain during the All-Star coach trade.
Anybody acting oppy, bringing bad vibes, she sent you packing. Let's listen to it.
I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach.
And that's what makes Caitlin Clark so dangerous to the system. She doesn't just break records. She exposes what's broken.
She ends up on Caitlin Clark's team. It just kind of seemed interesting after the draft. It was a joke. That's all.
She don't care no more, bruh. She trading coaches away on All-Star games. She don't give a damn no more.
Because when a coach would rather not coach the league's biggest star, and the league lets that star take the fall, the problem isn't Caitlin. The problem is bigger than that. It's about power. It's about control. And it's about a system that still can't figure out how to embrace the very player saving it.
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule.
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game.
Fee, Stewart, Alicia Gray, Aneka Ogwumike, and Paige. They got 2 guards and 3 power forwards on that roster for Team Collier. Caitlin Clark actually has a complete roster to start her team. She's got Caitlin Clark at the 1, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Satou Sabally at the 3. She must have heard the chatter in the offseason of fans saying, let's get Satou Sabally. I'm just saying, she might have heard a thing or two.
This was never just about a coach trade. It was never just about All-Star Weekend. What we witnessed was the latest chapter in a much bigger story, one where Caitlin Clark continues to rise, even when the system tries to dim her light. They tried to spin the story like she fired Cheryl Reeve out of ego. But the truth? She took the blame for a decision others didn't have the courage to admit.
Caitlin Clark, you annihilated Cheryl Reeves on national TV, and I love it.
She protected the league's image while being left out of Team USA. She smiled through shade. She showed up when others stepped away. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's the standard.
All of the families showing love to the players for this year's All-Star game on X today, and Caitlin Clark family show love.
She's the reason arenas are packed. She's the reason this league is trending. And she's the reason millions of new fans believe in women's basketball again. But more than that, she's showing every young athlete watching how to lead with grace, power, and unshakable integrity, even when the spotlight burns hottest. So the next time they try to twist the story, remember who stood tall when the pressure hit hardest. If you stand with Caitlin Clark, let them hear it. Drop 100% in the comments and remind the world, real ones don't fold.